Hey, this is Kenny from Kenny's Audiophile Record Reviews. Thank you very much for viewing my channel. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate that as well. Hope all is well in the audiophile community, the CD, LP collecting community. Hope all is well. Thank you for viewing my video. In this video, I'm going to give my 2 cents on the LP versus CD debate. Also, this also applies to SACD as well, in addition to CDs, by the way. But this has been done many times on YouTube, but I thought I'd give my opinion. And also, before I start my video, let's say I concede that the listening experience of an LP is approximately 25% superior to the listening experience of a CD. Just for the sake of this video. What it actually is doesn't matter, but just for the sake of this video, there's some out there who believe that the CD experience is far superior, and a lot of you out there think the LP experience is far superior. In my experience, in my listening experience, the LP listening experience has been superior. But just for the sake of this video, let's assume the LP is 25 to 30% superior, and that's going to come into play at the end of the video when I give my final statement. And that final statement is more pointed at high-end LP only, analog only audiophiles. And that's very important, this point I'm going to make at the end of the video. So you might want to watch to the end of the video. But in my opinion, the CD has many features over the LP. I'm not going to get into all of them because they've been covered on other videos. I'm just going to touch on just a few of them before I get to my final statement, which is very important. One advantage the CD has over the LP is the condition issue. If you buy LPs on a secondary market or at a thrift store or estate sale, yard sale, whatever, swap meet, you see a lot of records with scratches on them. And you pass because, you know, some of those scratches can be so egregious, you know, you can feel them with your fingernails. You're not going to come home and play those on your turntable with your high-end cartridge, so you're going to pass. Whereas a CD with scratches on it, if I see it at a thrift store 50 cents or $1, it has some scratches on it, and I really want it bad enough, I'll probably buy it because odds are, even with the scratches, it's going to play fine. You don't have that luxury with LPs. Also, on a secondary market or a thrift store, you can find an LP that appears excellent to mint or very good to mint. No scratches or anything. You can bring it home and you can have pops and ticks all over the place. You don't have that with CDs. So the CD wins in that category, in my opinion. Also, here's another issue with LPs versus CDs. Overall, by and large, the cost is cheaper in the CD realm versus LP realm. I can go down to my local thrift store this week and find a CD player selling for $15. Many out there are going to say, well, Kenny, you're going to buy that thrift store CD player at the thrift store. It's not going to work. Well, there's CDs in the thrift store. The CD players in the thrift store, you can test it out in the thrift store before you buy it. So for new audiophiles trying to get into a hobby, the barrier of entry is a lot easier to break on the CD, SACD realm versus the LP realm. Also, on the LP realm, the cost of maintenance on turntables over the years can be very expensive. Some of these, if you want to replace your cartridge or stylus, which you have to do every now and then, this can run into hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, depending on the cartridge or stylus you have. That's not the case with CD players. I've been using my CD player that I have, my SACD player that I have now. Gosh, I've had it for like 15 years or so. Maintenance free. No issues. Sounds fabulous. Like I said, a turntable, every now and then you got to replace your cartridge and or stylus. And like I said, I can run into hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. So the equipment cost on the CD realm is a lot cheaper than the equipment costs on the LP side of things. Also, the ease of use is much more easier on a CD player. Here's what I mean by that specifically. Sometimes I want to come in my music room, and as you can see, I have plenty of LPs, but I have several thousand CDs as well. Sometimes I just want to have a casual, relaxing listening experience. This is what I mean. With a CD, you come in your music room, put on a CD, and play track 1. Sometimes you might want to skip to track 9. And then you want to go back to track 3, and then to track 5, and then to track 7. It's a lot easier to do that on a CD player with a remote control than it is on your turntable. Turntable, you got to get up multiple times, flip a record back and forth if you're going to, go that route. So the CD wins in that category. Also, and SACDs do as well. Also, the cost of CDs and SACDs are a lot cheaper. And I'll give you an example. Other than a thrift store example, where you can get them a lot cheaper. Analog Productions Acoustic Sounds, as of the taping of this video, is issuing reissuing a series of Steely Dan UHQR box sets, and they cost approximately $150. They're also including a hybrid, or issuing a hybrid SACD for $35. Now, for those audiophiles who don't have the $150 all the time these box sets come out, those inexpensive issues are fabulous for people who want to participate in these releases. Analog Productions Acoustic Sounds makes fabulous UHQR issues, because I have several of them. But also their SACDs are also superb as well. But like I said, this gives audiophiles on a budget an opportunity to participate in these releases. But overall, the cost of CDs and SACDs are cheaper than the cost of some of these reissue box sets. So the CD is a lot cheaper, so it wins in that capacity. Another issue is the cleaning of records. When you put a record on your turntable, you want to make sure it is pristine as you can possibly get it via a record cleaner or cleaning by hand. That's an additional cost and additional effort on your part. A CD, you don't have that issue. So again, it's a lot more convenient to use a CD. And there's many other conveniences that I could mention, but those have been mentioned in other channels. I just wanted to touch on a few. But my final statement is the following, and it goes to my original statement where I conceded. Let's say that the sound of the LP is 25%. The listening experience is 25 to 30% better on LP versus CD. Let's say I concede that, okay? Just because the LP sounds better, or the listening experience sounds better than the CD, does not necessarily mean that the listening experience on the CD is bad. Now, repeat myself. Just because listening to an LP is better does not mean that listening to a CD is bad. And a lot of high-end audiophiles represent it that way, that listening to a CD is bad. It's just different. And I'll give you an example. Some of you high-end audiophiles out there are probably driving, some of you are driving Ferraris, Teslas, BMWs, Lexuses, some other fancy type vehicle. I'm driving a Honda. Just because your driving experience is far superior to mine via your Lexus, BMW, Tesla, does not mean that the driving experience in my Honda is bad. Same with the CD. Just because the LP is better, the listening experience is better, most audiophiles concede that, although some say the CD is better. I must mention that. Just because the listening experience on an LP is better does not necessarily mean the listening experience on a CD is bad. They both can be very pleasurable. I brought this topic up to my son, who is not an audiophile. He's not a record collector. And I told him I was thinking about doing this video. And I told him, sometimes some of these high-end audiophiles can kind of, some of them, not all of them, can look down on the CD. In my son's opinion, this was his statement was, he said, is this another reason for people to be uppity? I must admit, some high-end audiophiles can look down on the CD in that fashion, almost in an elitist type way, where, in my opinion, listening to a LP can be fabulous. Also, listen to an SACD or CD also can be fabulous as well. And a lot of high-end audiophiles misrepresent this topic, and they dismiss a CD as if it's terrible. It's not terrible. It's just, we just have different opinions on this thing. But like I said, the listening experience LP can be fabulous, and the listening experience on a CD can also sound good. And I think high-end audiophiles misrepresent that. They just think of a CD as bad, and it's actually not. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Thank you for viewing. Please like and subscribe. God bless. Love. Peace to all.